Welcome to Week 2 Questions and Answer for Quadratic Equations. So to review, completing the square. On the left hand side, I have the square of the binomial inside of the boxes. So making sure you know what difference between the A and B mean. In this case, the A and B represent the term. And for the quadratic equations, right here is the quadratic equations. The standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And a, b, c here is the coefficients. And I think we go over this one already in the lecture, so I just go over it one more time. We would like to have the coefficients of 1 right here, so it's easy to work with. So to make it equal 1, we have to divide 8 from both sides. Of the equations. So that's why we have a divided by a equal 1, b divided by a is b over a, and then c divided by a. 0 divided by a is 0. And also we have the condition here is a different from 0. So from that, when we multiply 2 divided by 2 is equal 1. 2 divided by 2 equal 1, so it doesn't change anything, right? It doesn't change that. So this one is the same as that. And this one equal 1. So it doesn't change that. And also we want to move that c over 8 to the right hand side. So I will subtract both sides by c over a. On the left hand side, we have c over a, subtract c over a, that make it 0. On the right hand side, I have 0, subtract c over a, make it negative c over a. Now I will separate this one into this term, b over 2a. Just communicate it. And I got this step. Now look at this. I have a squared plus 2ab plus b squared equal a plus b all squared. So I will use this one, right? So look at this. If I write down a, look at the bubble letter, okay? A squared, if I set a equal x, okay? And then I have this one is a, all right? Now I set my b is b over 2a, the b over 2a, the red one, okay? This is my b. So I almost finished that one, right? So I have a squared at x squared plus 2x, and then my b is b over 2 little a, I may write in red so it's different from that a and b. Yes. So now to make it become the square binomial, I will add it both sides, okay? Add the both sides by b squared and the bubble b, okay? So this one will be the big B right here. Add the big B square right here. Add the big B square right here. Look at the scale, this scale right here. So when I add something on this side, I add b square on this side. I have to add b square to make it balanced. And as we said that, we said the bubble b is equal to the red b over 2a. Okay, so this one will be b over 2a. This one will be b over 2a. And this one have to be in the parentheses. Alright. So that's how we got this formula right here. Alright, so at the corner right here, we have some special case. Okay, so if we have a equal 1, a equal 1, that's the coefficients, okay? Coefficients. A equal 1 and b is even. Then we can use this formula. Alright? And got the nice answer. When we set the nice answer is because we don't want to work with the fractions. So any integer will be the nice answer. And also, if we have the coefficients a different from 1, and of course different from 0, right? And also, we take b, we divide by a, and we have integer. We will use this formula. Otherwise, we will use quadratic formula. X equal minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. That saves us time and effort. Avoid any mistake by doing calculate of the plugin, right? Alright, let's have some practice. So we have a question that x squared minus 4x plus 4. I will use the square of binomial to solve for this problem first. So we have x squared minus 4x plus 4, right? On the left hand side. That equals 0. I see that a in this case is equal 1. B in this case is negative 4. And C is 4, right? Alright. So I see that 4 I can factor it into 2. So I can do like x squared minus 2 times x times 2. And I see that I have 4 is 2 squared. That's perfect, right? We don't have anything left over. So this one is our A. X is A minus 2A. 2 is B. B squared. So that we form A minus B square, right? That equals 0. Alright, now we plug it. So A equal X, B equal 2. So finally we have X minus 2 square equals 0. Now we can use the square root property to solve for this question. Or we can use the zero factor to solve for it, right? So we can use that the factor of x minus 2 times x minus 2 because that's the square, right? Equals 0. So x minus 2 equals 0 and all x minus 2 equals 0. So we have the same answer, right? So x equal positive 2. How about on another side, when we plug in using the quadratic standard form, instead of using the square of the binomial. Okay, this one the quadratic equations form. Okay, so this one we have A equal 1, B equal negative 4, C equal 4. Okay, let I set that we have A equal 1. Yes. We check for the completing the square, right? So A equal 1, B is negative 4, and that even. So we use the first formula, right? We use x plus b over 2 square equal minus c plus b over 2 square. Now we plug in, we have, okay, x plus b is negative 4 over 2 square equal minus c. C is 4, so minus 4 plus minus 4 divided by 2 square. Okay, so in the parentheses we have x, negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2, right? So minus 4 plus minus 2 square. This one is 4. So minus 4 plus 4 equals 0. So we have the same answer at left hand on the left side, right? So you can use either method to solve for this problem. You can also plug in this formula, but because a equal 1, so it just simplify to here, right? How about if this one is not 4 but 5? It's not perfect, it's not good, look good. Okay, so on this side I do the same. I have x squared minus 2 times x times 2. That 2 times 2 is 4, so that's my 4x. Okay, let me rewrite one more time. Okay, plus 5 equals 0. Now 5 is not what I want. I want x squared minus 2 times x times 2, and I want 4 because 2 square, right? I want a 2 square to make this one become x minus 2 square. That's what I want. But I don't have it, right? I don't have this one. So I will subtract both sides by 5 to move that number to the right. So this one is on the left hand side is cancel out. On the right hand side we have negative 5. Okay. And then you see the red one, I added 2 square on the left hand side. So just like a scale. The balance, when I adding on this side 2 square, I have to add in that one for 2 squared well. So I add 2 square, right? The reason I add 2 square because I want this one become that. Remember we have a square minus 2 a b plus b square. Yes? Alright, so now on the right hand side I have negative 5 plus 2 square. 2 square is 4. So that will become negative 1. Alright, now we can use the square root property, right? So x minus 2 equal plus or minus square root of negative 1. And then solve for x. So x equal square root of negative 1. Or we can say square root of negative 1 is I, right? So we just write I instead. So x minus 2 equal plus or minus I. So x equal, we add 2 for both sides. This one cancel, have left with x on the left hand side. On the right hand side we have 2 plus or minus I. Okay. So on this side, we do the same, right? We use this one, right? A equal 1, B equal negative 4, C C equal 5. So C equal 5. Now we plug in. So we have x plus b is negative 4 over 2 times a is 1. Okay, all square equal minus c is 5 over a is 1 plus minus 4 over 2 times 1 square. Right, we simplify it. So negative 4 divided by 2 is minus 2 square, right? Negative 5 divided by 1, negative 5. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2 all square. So that makes is 4, okay? So x minus 2 square equal negative 1. So two methods. Which one is more familiar to use or easier for you to apply? Just use it. And then at that point, we have the same step right here and just solve for it, right? The same. All right, for this one, we have 6x squared plus 5x equal 4. So now A, B, C is a little bit different, right? Because remember the right hand side of the equations always 0, right? But the thing is, anyway, we have to move the C to the right hand side, so we keep it as it is. Or we can rewrite it to use the formula, right? How we have that, we subtract both sides by 4, right? So subtract 4 here, subtract 4 here. On the right hand side is 0, on the left hand side, left as it is. Okay, now we can have A equal 6, B equal 5, C equal negative 4, x plus 5 over 2 times 6 square equal minus negative 4. C is negative 4, okay, over 6 plus 5 over 2 times 6 square. Alright, on this side I use a square plus 2ab plus b square equal a plus b all square. Okay, on the right hand side, on the right, I will do like the quadratic formula, quadratic equation standard form formula for the completing the square. Okay, so with that, I have x plus 5 over 12 square equal negative and negative will be positive. So 4 over 6, we can cancel the 2. So will be 2 over 3. If you don't get it, it's right here. That 2 times 2 equals 4. That 2 times 3 equals 6. Cancel 1. Cancel 1. Have left with 2 over 3. The negative and negative make it positive. Okay. Alright, now inside of the parenthesis is 5 over 12 square. So you see that step is similar. Alright, so it's similar, so we can solve similar, right? We can continue with it. And also, you know, when you have like the answer in here, I have like 6 over 12, making sure you have simplify it, because right here, when you're looking at this part in the MATLAB, is always telling you what they want you to fill in the answer box. So here they said try an integer, or a simplified fractions. So 6 over 12 is not simplified, but you have to simplify it, make it 1 over 2. How to get 1 over 2? We have 6 equal over 12. 6 is 6 times 1. 12 is 6 times 2. So we take up 1 6 on the top, 1 6 at the bottom. We have left with 1 over 2. Alright. The same thing here. Negative 16 over 12 is not simplified. So to simplify it, we have negative 16 is negative 4 times 4. At the bottom, we have 12 is 4 times 3. So cancel the 4. We have left with negative 4 over 3. This is the simplified one. So that's why when you see like the answer box, we'll fill in with negative 4 over 3, comma, because it said use a comma to separate the answer if needed. Okay. If you want to continue, we will continue with this one. We have x plus 5 over 12 squared equal 5 squared is 25, 2 over 3 right here, plus 25 over 12 squared. 12 squared, 12 squared. Okay, 12 squared is 144, right? So 3, we want to 5 the denominator, right? And it will be 12 times 4, 48. Why we multiply 48? top and bottom, so the 2 over 3 doesn't change if you cancel out that 48. 48 divided by 48 is 1. And how I want the 48? Because 12 times 12, right? That 4 times 3 times 4 times 3. I have 1 3 right here. Now the left is, I need is 4 and 4 and 3. So 4 times 4, 16 times 3, 48. Now at the bottom, they have the same denominator. I will have this one is 96. 48 times 2 is 96 at 25 over 144. This one is just the wrap part. Okay, so we have the same. X plus 5 over 12 square. And 96 at 25 is 121, and that is 11 square. So I can rewrite it at x plus 5 over 12 square equal 11 over 12 all square. Now you can use this one to solve. It will be the same, right? So x plus 5 over 12 equal 11 over 12, or x plus 5 over 12 equal negative 11 over 12. All right. Here is the questions. We have seen a lot in the discussion board, but we will do it one more time. So this is how the room look like, the outline. The blue part is the rug area. So we see that 24 feet right here, right? So we call this one an X. And uniform is uniform strap, right? So from here to here have to be X. From here to here have to be X as well. So here is X. Here is X. That's why to find the width of the rod, we have 24 subtract X here and X here, that's 2X. So we have this one, the first line, 24 minus 2X, that's the width, multiply with the length. For the length, we have 31, we subtract X in that side, subtract X on another side, right? And this is the width, this is the length. And because this is rectangular, so it will be width times length equal area, right? Okay, so next step, what I'm doing here is I see that 24 and 2 have the factor of 2. I just take the 2 out. So if you falling back or distribute back, you will have 24 at 2 times 12, and 2 times negative x go to negative 2x, right? I just want to making sure that I'm working with the small number. So I reduce both sides by 2. Okay. Now I divide this one by 2. Divide this one by 2. I have 2 divided by 2 is 1. Right? 1 multiplied with anything, just that thing. So 638 divided by 2 is 319. Now I got this step. Alright, now I distribute. So the first term I go with is negative x times negative 2x. So remember the negative multiply the negative produce positive. So that's why I have positive right here. So x times 2x is positive 2x squared. The second term is negative x times 31 is negative 31x. Alright. Now I have 12 times negative 2x. I got negative 24x. 12 times 31, I got 372. Okay, I got that step. Just distribute. Now on this side, I combine like term. So this term and this term combine into negative 55x. And then I subtract both sides by 319. Okay, so on the right hand side it equals 0. On the left hand side 372 subtract 319 is 53. Got that one. Okay, now we're checking that we can like use the zero factor to solve for this one, right? So I use the AC method. I have A times C. Now it's A equal to B equal negative 55 and C equal 53. Okay, so A times C is 2 times 53. Alright, what two number multiply is equal to 2 times 53? And when you add them up, they form negative 55. One hint. 2 and 53 is the prime number. Prime number is the number only divisible by 1 or itself. So it's form of 1 and itself, the product of 1 and itself. So it's just like 2 is equal 1 times 2, right? 53 is equal 1 times 53. They could not break it into smaller product. For example, 4 is not prime number. Because 4 is equal 2 times 2, right? Any number cannot break down into smaller number except for 1 times itself will be the prime number. Okay, so in that case I have 2 times 53, that's positive, right? But then when the two numbers sum up is negative, we have to think about we will have negative multiplied by negative to form positive. And then the negative, add the negative is the negative, right? So I will put in here negative 2 times negative 53, negative 2 plus negative 53, that match. So we good with it. Now I will writing the blue part is negative 2, right? Grouping. And then the red box is negative 53. That form negative 55x. This is a breakdown part. Alright, now on the next step, in the next step we will grouping. We grouping. So I will group the 2x squared with the negative 53x. That's my first group. My second group is that negative 2x plus 53. So for the first group, I keep it as is. For the second group, because I subtract outside the parenthesis, so from negative 2x, it's become 2x. Positive 53 is become negative 53. Because when you distribute that negative inside, you got back negative 2x. Negative times negative 53 is positive 53, right? Okay, so now similar factor. You see the common factor between that two big term. So we have here 2x minus 53. 2x minus 53, we take that out. Okay, factoring that out. So the first one, the first term, we left with x right here. And then right here, we left with negative 1. Alright. Now we have to use the zero factor theorem term to solve for this questions, right? So to complete it, we will set 2x minus 53 equals 0 or x minus 1 equals 0. So on this side, add 53 both sides. 2x on the left hand side, 53 on the right hand side. Divide by 2 both sides. This one is 1, so x equal 53 over 2. And this one is about 26.5. Why I said I want to show the decimal? Because at 26.5 is the length of the width. So the width, the maximum we can have is the width of the room, right? Which is 24. And the 26.5 is greater than 24 feet. It means with this answer, it could not be the real answer, right? So we cross that out. Now, x minus 1 equals 0, we're adding both sides by 1. So on the left hand side, x equal. On the right hand side, 0 plus 1 is equal 1. So the right answer in this case is x equal 1 feet. So 1 feet from here to here. And 1 feet from here to here. Now they're not asking for x, right? They're asking for the dimensions of the road. So it will be the width. We said that the width is equal 24 subtract 2x. And x equal 1, so 24 subtract 2 equal 22. And then the length is 31 subtract 2x equal 31 subtract 2 because x equal 1, right? So 29. And how we answer the questions in the answer box, you can say 22, comma 29. Separate the answer by the comma, right? So thank you for posting the questions on the discussion board, and hopefully this video helpful. See you next time.